Hello and welcome back to English Unleashed, the podcast that helps you learn English in a simple, calm, and easy way. I'm Tom. Today's episode is very important. We are talking about how to remember English better and forget less. And I do not mean only remembering words. No, English is not just words. English is also grammar. English is pronunciation. English is sentence patterns. English is listening. English is speaking. English is the way words come together. Sometimes you remember a word, but you forget how to use it in a sentence. Sometimes you understand grammar in a lesson, but when you speak, you forget the grammar. Sometimes you know the correct pronunciation, but your mouth cannot say it easily. Sometimes you listen to English and understand it, but later you cannot use the same sentence yourself. So today, I will give you 7 fresh tips to help you remember English as a complete skill. Before we start, remember this. You can download the podcast script and the worksheet for this episode at www.englishfrenzy.com. The worksheet will help you practice the ideas in this episode. You will listen first, then read the script, and then do the exercises. Let's begin. Tip number 1. Remember sentences, not lonely words. The first tip is this. Remember sentences, not lonely words. A lonely word is a word without a sentence. For example, you learn the word busy. That is useful. But if you only remember the word busy, you may still feel stuck when you speak. You may think, how do I use it? So instead of remembering only the word, remember a full sentence. For example, I'm too busy today. Are you busy right now? She is busy with work. Now you're not only learning vocabulary, you are also learning grammar. You are learning the verb be. I am busy. You are busy. She is busy. You are also learning sentence rhythm. I'm busy today. Or I'm too busy today. That sounds natural. That is much better than only saying busy means not free. You are also learning about the prepositions. To be busy with work. Of course, meaning is important, but meaning alone is not enough. You need the word inside a sentence. Let's take another example. The word is forget, and that is an easy word. You may already know it. You should not only write forget. Learn simple sentences. I always forget names. I forgot my phone. Don't forget your keys. Now, again, you are learning vocabulary, grammar, and real use. You see present simple. I always forget. You see past simple. I forgot. You see an instruction. Don't forget. And that is very important. One word gives you 3 grammar patterns. So when you learn something new, always ask, what is one simple sentence with this? What is one question with this? What is one past sentence with this? For example, the word practice. I practice English every day. Do you practice English every day? I practiced English yesterday. This easy method helps your brain remember English as a living system, not as a list of words. Remember, English is not a dictionary in your head. English is sentences in your mouth. So, tip number 1 is very simple. Do not collect lonely words. Collect useful sentences. Tip number 2. Attach grammar to a real moment. What does that mean? Well, many learners forget grammar because grammar feels like rules on a page. For example, present perfect, past simple, future with going to. Comparatives, prepositions. These can feel dry, boring, and confusing. But grammar becomes easier when you connect it to a real moment, when you attach it to a real moment. Let's take the present perfect tense. Many learners study this sentence. I have finished my homework. Okay, but why do we use it? When do we use it? Imagine this moment. Your friend asks, can you come out now? You say, yes, I have finished my homework. Now the grammar has a real reason. You finished something and now you are free. That is the feeling of the sentence. Let's take another grammar point. Go into for future plans. Do not only remember the rule. The rule is subject plus be plus going to plus verb. That is dry, boring, and sometimes confusing. Instead, connect it to your real day. Say, I'm going to make coffee. I'm going to check my messages. I'm going to study English tonight. Now, grammar is connected to your life. That makes it easier to remember. Let's take comparatives. Again, another difficult word. Instead of only saying big, bigger, easy, easier, these are comparatives. We are comparing two things. Good, better, bad, worse. Instead of these, use real comparisons. This lesson is easier than yesterday's lesson. My phone is newer than my old phone. Tea is better than coffee for me. Maybe coffee is better for you. That is okay. The point is to make the grammar personal. Grammar loves context. Context means the situation around the sentence. When grammar has no context, it is easy to forget. When grammar has a real moment, it stays longer. So, when you study grammar, never stop at the rule. Add a real moment. Ask, when would I say this? Who would I say it to? What is happening? For example, Imagine the grammar point is should. Do not only remember should is used when we want to give advice. Make real sentences. I should drink more water. I should go to bed earlier. You should take a short break. Now the grammar is alive. You can remember it because it belongs to your life. Okay, tip number 3. Train your mouth, not only your mind. This tip is about pronunciation. Many learners understand English in your mind. They know a lot of words. They know the grammar. But when they speak, the sentence feels difficult. Why? Because the mouth has not practiced it enough. Your brain may know the sentence, but your mouth also needs memory. This is called mouth memory. For example, the sentence, "What do you want to do?" Maybe you understand every word, but speaking it naturally can feel difficult. Native speakers often say it quickly. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? For beginner learners, you do not need to speak very fast, but you need to practice the movement. Say it slowly first. What do you want to do? Okay, then a little faster. What do you want to do? And then gradually, once you have mastered it slowly, you can say it faster. What do you wanna do? 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 Okay, so it takes time and you need to be patient with your practice. This helps your mouth remember the shape of the sentence. Let's try another sentence. I don't know what to say. This sentence is useful, but it can feel long. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Break it into pieces. I don't know. I don't know. What to say. What to say. Now connect it. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Good. So pronunciation is not only about single words. It is also about sentence music. English has stress. Stress means some words sound stronger. For example, in this sentence, I don't know what to say. The strong words are don't, know, and say. So you can practice it like this. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Not every word has the same power. This helps your speaking sound more natural. It also helps you remember the sentence. Why? Because written helps memory. Music helps memory. The sound of the sentence helps memory. So, when you learn a useful sentence, do not only read it silently, say it, feel it, repeat it with rhythm. Let your mouth learn it. Your English memory is not only in your head, it is also in your mouth, your ears, and your body. Okay, tip number 4. Use grammar switching. This is a very useful technique. You take one simple sentence and change it into different grammar forms. This helps you remember grammar because you see how English changes. Let's start with a simple sentence. I study English. Now switch it. I studied English yesterday. I'm going to study English tonight. I don't study English at night. Do you study English every day? I can study English for 10 minutes. I should study English more often. This is powerful because you're not learning grammar separately. You are training grammar like a pattern. You see how one idea changes. This helps you speak faster. You do not need to create a completely new sentence every time. You can use one base sentence and change it. Let's try another example. She watches videos. She watched a video yesterday. She's going to watch a video tonight. She doesn't watch videos in the morning. Does she watch English videos? She wants to watch a short video. This technique helps with verbs, questions, negatives, and tenses. Many learners forget grammar because they study one form at a time. Today, they study present simple. Tomorrow, they study past simple. Next week, they study future. But in real speaking, grammar is mixed. You need to move between forms. So practice switching. Take one sentence and change it. You can do this with very easy sentences. For example, I like tea. I liked tea when I was a child. I don't like strong tea. Do you like tea? I would like some tea. This is simple, but it is excellent practice. Grammar switching helps your brain become flexible. Flexible means you can change easily. And that is what you need in speaking. You need flexible English, not perfect English. Flexible English. Okay, tip number 5. Connect listening and speaking together. Many learners practice listening and speaking separately. They listen to a podcast. Then later, they try to speak. But if you want to remember English better, connect them. Here is a simple method. Listen to one short sentence. Pause. Say the same idea in your own way. Not exactly the same sentence, your own simple version. For example, you hear, I usually grab a quick breakfast before work. Maybe this sentence is a little difficult. You can say your own easier version. I eat a quick breakfast before work. Good. You have understood the sentence. You have used the idea, and you have made it your own. This helps memory a lot. Let's try another example. You hear the sentence, I'm trying to spend less time on my phone. Your simple version is, I want to use my phone less. You do not need to copy everything. You need to understand and rebuild. Rebuild means make again. This method helps with vocabulary, grammar, and speaking. You hear natural English, then you create simple English. This is very useful for beginner learners. Sometimes learners think, I must repeat exactly. Exact repetition is good, but it is not always necessary. Sometimes it is better to say the same thing in easier words. This builds active memory. Active memory means you can use English, not only understand it. Listening is input. Speaking is output. When input and output work together, memory becomes stronger. So, next time you listen to English, do this. Listen to one sentence, pause, ask, what does it mean? And then say it in your own easy English. For example, the original sentence is, I'm exhausted. Your sentence could be, I'm very tired. The original sentence is, that sounds interesting. Your sentence could be, I think that is interesting. The original sentence is, I need to think about it. Your sentence could be, I need time to decide. This is not only listening practice, this is memory practice, speaking practice, vocabulary practice, and grammar practice, all together. Okay, now we move on to tip number 6. Make a mistake map. This is different from a normal notebook. Many learners write new things in a notebook, but they do not write their mistakes clearly. A mistake map helps you remember the English you often forget, not all English. Your English, your personal problems. For example, maybe you often forget S in present simple. You say, she like coffee. But the correct sentence is, she likes coffee. Write this in your mistake map. Then write one more example. He works at home. My sister studies English. Now you are fixing your grammar. Maybe your problem is pronunciation. For example, you pronounce three like tree or Sri. Write it in your mistake map. 3 tree. Then practice. 3 things. 3 books. 3 days. Your mistake map should have 3 parts: grammar mistakes, pronunciation mistakes, vocabulary or phrase mistakes. This is very useful because it shows you what you personally forget, not what everybody forgets, what you forget. That makes your practice smarter. Do not feel bad when you find a mistake. A mistake is not an enemy. It is a teacher. It is your friend. It says, look here, that part needs practice. So, keep a small mistake map. Review it for 5 minutes every day. Fix one mistake at a time, and you will feel real progress. Okay, tip number 7. Use the 24-48-7 review method. What does that mean? This sounds serious, but it is very simple. When you learn something useful, review it after 24 hours. Then review it after 48 hours. Then review it after 7 days. 24, 48, 7. Why? Because forgetting often happens slowly. At first, you remember. Then, one day later, it becomes weaker. 2 days later, weaker again. Then, after a week, maybe it disappears. So, you need to meet the language again and again before it disappears. But do not review everything. Review small things. For example, choose one grammar pattern. I'm going to. Okay? Review it after 24 hours. I'm going to study. I'm going to cook. I'm going to sleep early. After 48 hours, review it again. What are you going to do? I'm going to watch a video. After 7 days, use it in a longer sentence. This week, I'm going to visit my friend and practice English. You can do the same with pronunciation. You can do the same with grammar, with vocabulary, with everything. All right, now let's practice all 7 ideas with one simple sentence. I'm going to practice English tonight. First, this is a full sentence, not a lonely word. Second, it has grammar. I'm going to. Third, we can train the mouth. I'm going to practice English tonight. Now say it with rhythm. I'm going to practice English tonight. I'm going to practice English tonight. Fourth, we can switch the grammar. I practiced English yesterday. I don't practice English at night. Fifth, we can connect listening and speaking. If you hear, I'm planning to study English later, you can say, I'm going to practice English tonight. Number 6, we can check mistakes. Maybe you say, I'm going practice. You need to say, I'm going to practice. You fixed the grammar, okay? 7th, you review it tomorrow, in 2 days, and next week. This is how one sentence can train many parts of English. And imagine what would happen if you do it with many sentences. Vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, listening, speaking, memory, and everything else works together. Okay, so today we learned 7 fresh tips to remember English better and forget less. The main message is this: do not only study English, use it, say it, hear it, change it, feel it, and review it. Before I finish, remember you can download the podcast script and worksheet for this episode at www.englishfrenzy.com. Use the worksheet after listening. Practice the sentences. Try the grammar switching. Make your mistake map. And come back to the language again tomorrow. Thank you so much for listening to English Unleashed. I'm Tom. And until next time, keep learning, keep practicing, and remember, you do not need perfect English. You need English that comes back when you need it. Bye for now.